Okay, good morning, everybody. I know yesterday on stream, someone mentioned playing Monastery Mentor in the Jeskai Breach deck, and I was like, well, I said something snarky probably. Um, but Monastery Mentor is a card that I think is conditionally playable in Modern. Monastery Mentor is a card that we found reasonable success with in this Esper shell in the past. I think that specifically if you're able to unearth your Monastery Mentor, then play spells, hold up counter spells, play cantrips, the card is actually really impactful. The problem with Monastery Mentor is trying to spend 3 mana on the card and then untap with your 2/2. That is a strategy that is bad, but it's also true that when you have Unearth in your deck, casting Mentor all of a sudden becomes much better, where sure, you play your Mentor, and then they kill it, but then the next turn you're set up to go, Unearth and play a bunch of cantrips and build a pretty big board. And so kind of thinking about this shell a little bit more, I think it kind of, really obviously slots into the Breach package. A package where not only are you able to cast a ton of spells with Underworld Breach, but you're potentially even able to, Dragon Rage Channeler Surveil into Unearth plus Mentor all on the same turn. And Seasoned Pyromancer is another good, Unearth target / card selection card advantage spell that fuels your Underworld Breaches as well. I played a version last night that was just Boros over Mardu playing Recommission for Unearth. Every single time I cast Recommission, I wished it was Unearth. Every single time the 2 mana over 1 mana was incredibly relevant, which I think is maybe kind of clear, where you go turn 2 Reunion, discard your Mentor, and then on turn 3 you Unearth, and then you have a lot of 2 mana spells that could trigger it, but you can't because your Unearth effect was 2 mana instead of 1. Obviously, splashing a third color makes your mana much worse, but since Breach is a deck that wants you to play a lot of fetch lands anyways, I think your mana base will be still really consistent for whatever that's worth. You have Manamorphose to fix too. You also have some combo-y finishes with Bitter Reunion, where you can Mentor, make a lot of tokens, sack your Bitter Reunion, attack for a lot. Bitter Reunion was pretty good for me last night. It was able to deal an extra 6-7 damage pretty consistently on turn 4-ish. Which allowed me to finish the game by turn 4, which is a really important threshold for a deck like this. Additionally, of course, this is probably the more obvious thing, but turn 2, Reunion, discard Mentor into Unearth, play some cantrips is a pretty good way to get really ahead on board. Deck was really fun. I ended up losing playing to Burn. I lost to a well-timed Boros Charm, but if I had won that match, I would have trophied. Won the other 4 matches. It was pretty sick. We don't want Giganta over Spyro. I think that Seasoned Pyromancer is important enough in this deck that I'm willing to forgo Giganta. I go on and on about how Giganta's broken. Giganta's broken because so many decks do nothing to get access to it. But Seasoned Pyromancer is a really, really important card here. It helps you both fuel your Breach, loot away dead Mentors, dead Breaches, and also give you a density of Unearth targets. Seasoned Pyromancer, in my opinion, is a pretty important card here, and it's important enough that I don't think that there's an alternative I'm interested in playing in order to get access to Giganta.
Yeah. Also, most of this is mine, but you can have.
Okay. I don't even need it. I had a big cup of coffee. I thought you were bringing it to me though.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna give you half.
I mean, I'll...
Do you want it in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, put on to the level 5. Yeah, we'll be doing a Souls run later. I did a whole run off stream last night. Yeah. I did so much prep last night. But I did a whole run off stream plus Ornstein and Smell practice. I feel like I made a little tiny itsy bitsy baby bit of progress on Ornstein and Smell last night. I'm gonna play, this is tough, actually. What's the play? I usually on one land just lead on Channeler. So let's just go ahead and stick to that. The other thing is, we have 2 Ragavans, is kind of why I was hesitating a bit. Maybe Tindy. She's been bringing me, one hard-boiled egg. It's just kind of been, the perfect breakfast for me, where I just, I don't have a big appetite in the mornings, but I need to eat something, or I it's hard to make it through the stream. So like 1 egg, perfect amount. Yeah, this trying time. Oh, speaking of Danny DeVito, we watched Twins last night with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They're twins. It was like an old 80s movie. And as far as like 80s movies go, it wasn't that bad. There were still some moments that I don't know. It was like I don't know. It was still an 80s movie, but it wasn't that bad. Alright, red. We just dash. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was cute mostly. Yeah, less gamer moments than the average 80 movie, maybe. Ooh, a channeler? Let's go, dude. Let's think of maybe 5/5 Murktide here. It's pretty good. Wow, third channeler. Have some options here, huh? I think that I'm just gonna Seasoned Pyromancer. Discard both Ragavans. And I want to do this main phase because I could draw Bauble. So someone on Twitter running a Breach version of Phoenix. Have I ever tried experimenting with the idea? It's kind of been on my to-do list for a while. Where like we had a Phoenix version of Prowess that I thought was pretty good. It could be something we could try. I'm not really 100% sure how into it I am, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and send in like this. Is the deck real? Recommission elementals. Is it real? This is another question I don't usually know exactly how to answer. Recommission elementals is a deck that I think is good and a deck that I like. I think it's powerful. I think it's consistent. I think it's well positioned in the metagame. But like the reality is, you know, when it comes to decks, metagames change and things kind of filter in and out of playability a lot of the time, and it can be kind of hard to, you know. I like the deck a lot. I would register for it in the tournament right now. It may be something that I would maybe not like in certain metagames. Like it's like not very good against Tron. If Tron is really popular, probably wouldn't register it. If Belcher is really popular, I wouldn't register it. Okay, change the rocks. Oh, yeah, someone who was whoever was asking about like the creativity Hammer Time Murktide thing though. If you're looking for a deck that's good against creativity Hammer Time Murktide, the Elementals deck I've been playing, the Recommissioned Elementals deck, I really do recommend. I think that deck's great against it. Let's do something like this. Oh yes, Jay, I need to bring in Hearst too, of course. It's like this matchup's like one of the main reasons I even have Hearst is like in the deck. They're probably gonna be bringing Graveyard Hate too. Maybe we can trim Breach. Maybe the reunions just aren't that good in general in this matchup. We can theory craft that. Hitachi, 32 months. Big tournament this weekend. Good luck, Hitachi. Rest well. Eat your vegetables. I want to see you revisit Just Get Lotus Field. Any innovations in the work? I haven't messed with it in a really long time. I don't know. There are decks like Just Get Lotus Field that I've just played like hundreds of hours on this channel, and we've tried so many different versions of that archetype that I'm just like not really in a rush to, you know. I don't have too many more ideas. We've exhausted a lot of ideas, and I don't think it's super well positioned at the moment. Like with like, especially like for a long time, like just Blood Moons were non-existent. Blood Moon, definitely a card that made a pretty big comeback. I don't know. Not soon, probably. Yeah, I know that. I know that some people, this is kind of how like almost every single Aspiring Spike chatter is. I think every single Aspiring Spike chatter has like one or two decks that they would just watch all the time. But the problem is, I get really bored if I don't like do a lot of variety, and like it's just like definitely for the best of the stream to keep variety up, anyways. You said binding not a problem for Belcher because of Beseiju? No, I said binding's not a problem for Belcher. Beseiju is a problem for Belcher. Seamus, thank you for the 9 months. Thank you. Like, for Belcher, you just play and activate Belcher all in one go most of the time, so you don't have a window for binding to, like, deal with the Belcher. It's an interesting draw. I think I'm discarding... I think I discard the Breach so I can have Delirium for the Heat. And then we'll just discard Arid Mesa also. What did I say is my most played card in Modern over the last year? Maybe Deer's here, Bauble. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So, like, I tried to do, like, a 2022 recap of, like, all the decks I worked on in 2022. I thought it would be an awesome YouTube video. Just like, trying to prep that video for January through March took me, like, 3 hours. Just sifting through the decks and like looking at them and trying to get like which ones I wanted for the video. Like that process took me about 3 hours. And so I'm like, well, I just don't have the hours to devote to wow, they targeted the token. I just didn't have the hours to devote to the project. No needs advice, just want you to look. Okay, good. I mean, this is me. This is first place in a tournament. Oh, this is just a league. Yeah, this is just a 5-0 league. I got confused by this. I don't like that MTG Top 8 does this with like leagues. But yeah, this was a time, huh? This was like a really big boon for the channel. Like when Into the Story and Drown in Luck got printed, like this was like really the first time you could like even think about playing Grixis Control in a while, and like we had a really high win rate with this deck. Then Uro got printed like very, very quickly after this, and the deck was like really like this deck went from like a pretty good choice to like well positioned high win rate to like completely unplayable when Uro was printed. How do we bring Grixis into 2023? I mean, I think you should really never set out to like just like I'm gonna work on this color combination. It always has to like start a bit better, like start a little bit more focused. I will say that I always thought Into the Story was like a phenomenal card advantage spell. I think that like if Into the Story is online, it's better than Memory Deluge. It's better than Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's insane. Memory, like, just think about how, like, Memory Deluge is, like, a popular, like, one of the best card advantage spells in Modern. In that card, you look at the top 4 cards and pick 2. This one, you get all of them. You get all of them. That being said, it's just not online fast enough against, like, a lot of the decks in the format at the moment. And then also, like this deck, like, use Thought Scour your opponent to help turn on Into the Story, and I think that's not a great place to be in current Modern. Shell, 2 months, thank you. Sandwich for the 7 months, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where I don't think I'm going anywhere with that, actually. Just beyond that point. Seems rough against Breach and Murktide. I would actually, funny enough, I would actually argue the complete opposite. That, like, Breach and Murktide are decks that are going to fill their graveyard aggressively enough that Into the Story is, like, gonna be naturally 4 mana most of the time. Obviously, like sometimes Murktide, like a well-timed Murktide, will turn it off, but I would actually argue the opposite. Like the Channeler, Ledger Shredder, Bauble decks are like the decks that Into the Story is the best against. Like, you need to counter Breach anyways to win, right? Alright, the Bauble trigger phase of Modern. Every single turn of Modern has a Mishra's Bauble trigger phase. I think I'm going to go ahead and cycle my Manamorphose. And let's go to make red so we can hit a Channeler. No, but Seasoned Pyromancer is pretty good if our Ragavan connects, which is not super likely, or if we draw a land. It's kind of a nice pickup. Why didn't we dash Ragavan? My opponent killed my first Ragavan in my beginning of combat step, so dashing Ragavan would not have accomplished too much there. Can you explain how Sundering Tide works in coffers? Do you have to name a swamp when it comes in? If there's a swamp in play, you have to destroy a swamp. If you have an Urborg in play, you can destroy any of your opponent's lands, though. Do my best to hold this as long as possible for Murktide. The Exile Ledger Shredder can't play Ledger Shredder. Although maybe I can Breach back Chain to the Rocks. Although I actually don't have double red naturally, so maybe I can just discard the Swamp. Discard Breach Swamp. Feels weird, but like this is a really premium card. This is a really premium card. I think I just want to like have all the premium cards in my hand that I can. Having all Planeswalkers creativity is bad. You know what's kind of funny is like this is like a sentiment that has been repeated a lot for Control. Planeswalkers are bad. Creativity is one of the main matchups that's bad because you have to tap out for them. But when I was playing Blue-White Control in Vegas, I just had 3 Force of Negation in my 75. I had 1 main, 2 side, and all of a sudden I could tap out for Planeswalkers against Creativity, and I felt like the matchup was like actually like pretty good. I also like would main phase Archmage's Charm, steal their Goblin if they went Fable with the Mirror Breaker, and then they couldn't ever like just turn 4 Creativity because either Solitude or Force would wreck them, and then like all of a sudden like the Goblin making treasures for you is like so huge. I don't know if that's like a common line or not, but like I found that line to be really good. But I'm a pretty big proponent of like 1 Force main, 1 Force side at least, maybe 2 Force at the side, if you're playing a lot of Planeswalkers in Control. Why start a new trophy race next time? I don't currently have plans to. So like right now I'm trying to no-hit Dark Souls on stream, which is kind of like it's in a lot of ways it's like the new trophy race. It's like my personal challenge to myself to, you know, do something that's off the wall and do something that's like very difficult. I know that it's different. I know that's not Magic, but I really am not that big a fan of just like doing the same things over and over and over again, because like this is the content that you do. You're the trophy race guy, Spike. You have to do the trophy race. I want to be a guy that's like improving as a person, improving as a streamer, growing constantly. That's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. Gonna watch the Streamer Awards? I don't know what the Streamer Awards are. I probably won't watch. I think I jammed this. White Trout Gap Banter Katie's? No. Nasif is like the only brewer whose mind I've never been able to get inside. I don't understand that deck. Just like I don't understand a lot of Nasif decks. Not in a bad way, just like in a way that like I try to watch Nasif and I try to understand, and he just really is on another level, you know? Spike, are you saying Gabriel Nassif is better at Magic than you? Yeah, I am saying that. Do I have to Bauble before I Ragavan? Yeah. Nassif is my Neji, and I'm Ruckley. Did I have 2 or 3 Baubles there? I think just 2. Doing GPs or SCGs? I would love... I'm going to do all the GPs that there are. I'll do every single GP. I'm going to play tournaments, yeah. I don't know. I don't have any plan at the moment. I got a little tired last year because I had a lot of events and stuff, like all at similar times. But I'll do some. I'll do some for sure. I don't know. I don't have any currently planned, and I don't think I'm going to Philly. I just have to no-hit Dark Souls before I can think about doing anything else with my life. Worst player, 14 months, thank you. They didn't have a counterspell last turn. How could they possibly have a counterspell right now? They must have been sandbagging the Murktide. Huh. Oh, we saw the never mind, we saw the freaking charm. So they were sandbagging the Murktide. I thought that they just drew it for this turn, which is why I got a little confused there. I mean, that's keepable. So let's see what that card's going to be. Their own Bauble. Okay, sure. So I probably have to chump block if they attack. Where did they look? They looked at themselves and then they attacked, so they could have a counterspell or bolt on top pretty easy. That being said, I don't really have a choice besides just cast Breach. Oh, it resolved immediately. Awesome. 1, 2. So I can go Bauble, XL3, but then I don't have enough to chain to the rocks. I just have to chain to the rocks. I get to change the rocks, actually. Lucky me. I didn't have enough to DRC Bauble Chain, though. Not even close. I mean, the Murktide's just a 3/3. I mean, I'd be happy if they block a Spyro, too, because I have Unearth. Can I explain where Breach is coming from all of a sudden? Not that it wasn't known as a strong card, but made it every deck in Modern. Well, I mean, it's not in every deck in Modern. I'm just, like, because it's been underexplored for a long time, I've been trying it in a lot of shells, right? That being said, like, there was, yes, like, a full year that, like, nobody played Breach as a value card. It was, like, showed up occasionally in Prowess, it was really good in Prowess, and it was, like, a combo card that was popular and existed. But, I know, people ask this a lot. Wait, why is Breach seeing a play all of the moment? Despite what people say online that Modern is solved and you know, like nobody brews anything, Modern is a super underexplored format. This is why I'm able to come in here almost every day with a brand new deck. Is that Modern is an underexplored format. Modern is a format with like lots of open room for innovation, lots of abilities to change and grow. Like, I agree, it is hard to brew, and like that's part of the reason why it's underexplored. But like, that is the answer. That is the simple answer. Is that oh no? Am I even playing the Ragavan here? I don't think so. I think I want to draw that Mentor. I might discard the Mentor to set up for Unearth. I might also like just discard Ragavan and then cast Mentor on turn 3. This is definitely like a matchup where you could do that. Yeah, maybe if I drew Unearth, I guess I would, you know, discard the Mentor. Could we finally unban a Bridge from Below? I've been in favor of a Bridge from Below unbanned for, like, the entire time it's been banned. It, like, really never should have been banned in the first place. I think Graveyard decks need a buff. I can't really imagine Bridge even being particularly good in a format with the incarnations, so... I don't know. I always will vote yes for a Bridge for Below unban. But it also seems like Bridge for Below is, like, a pretty, like, disliked card, and... most people would rather unjustly see it gone forever. Well, Sacred Foundries are now Mardu Triomes, so that's kind of nice. After getting teeth to kick my Dredge, Dredge won't eat, like, Dredge literally will not play Bridge from Below. Like, you have to play it in different shells, right? Probably gonna be a little slow on the draw here. Okay, we have been twin now. Yeah, probably. Alright, so Hearse is okay against them. We have Hearse and then Change the Rocks. That's about it. To game 2 we go. Is the Anviltron weak to scam? Yeah. Yeah. Then we could trimming on Unearth, trim a Spyro, trim a Reunion. Calm isn't also good against Artisan Messenger? Nope. Oh yeah, probably should be less on Ragavans. On the play you could still play. Yeah, on the play, yeah, I should be less than 4 though, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're not good against Messenger artists. They'll just like you'll calm in response to their combo, then they'll untap and kill you, or they'll just kill you on your upkeep. They'll just pass and then kill you. I'm gonna graveyard this for Delirium purposes. Delirious Channeler is really valuable in this matchup. Part of the issue is WotC afraid of another Grave Troll incident? Yeah, I just don't think that it would happen. I see. I understand that argument. I think it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm not, you know, just like actively campaigning for it, I guess. But I think it would be a good unban. We have a lot of removal in our deck. Just... There's a Bolt. The Hapatra won't be too big a problem. Breach Bolt is... Puts my opponent to 6 next turn. If they just Yawgmoth Hapatra me next turn, we're in pretty bad shape. And unfortunately, we just, like, you know, weren't able to kill their Mana Dorks this game. Could you represent TCG? Could you tell them not to ship foils and penny sleeve? It's moist in South Mississippi. Yeah, that's the problem is, like, at the latest board meeting, there was, like, immediately a point brought up how, like, penny sleeves need to be not used because of damage to cards. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, TCG player? We're going to save all the money we possibly can. We're going to use penny sleeves on every single order. I do not give a damn how moist it is in South Mississippi. I don't care if every single card that's shipped to South Mississippi comes soaked, drenched, completely destroyed, as long as I get even $1 a month more. Fuck everyone in South Mississippi. And because I own eBay, which owns TCG Player, which owns Channel Fireball, they had to listen to me. I had the final vote. So my hands are. I would just look really bad if I went back on that point now. I would look so bad. I would look horrible. You understand? Not in a little while, Tommy. I did like that deck though. Quick pause the stream or dingo. See what I'm playing. I missed a lot what just happened. I don't know. I just kind of like yelled a bunch. Just like, you know, slightly above average amount of yelling this morning. I mean, just because I said, you know, fuck Mississippi and I hope all their cards get chip damage doesn't mean I have anything against Mississippi. I mean, I that was when I said fuck Mississippi, everyone in it, and I hope all your cards get destroyed. That was taken out of context. That was taken drastically out of context, and I feel like I'm being represented in a really unfair light. Oh no, you can't do this to me. You can't fire ice me. I always know a joke is good when I can hear Esther from the other room go hee hee.
I thought you had headphones in that you couldn't hear.
No, I took them out when I was doing
The bit?
what bit?
Okay. Does chat get annoyed that, like,
What?
your face, like, they can't see your whole face?
Oh, I yell at them whenever. Just let me bend over a little bit. I'm not. Listen, I'm not an American cashier that has to stand for 12 hours on a shift. I'm allowed to hunch over for a moment and let my back pringle up. You know, you have to see 100% of my face the entire time.
I'm just talking about you can make it lower.
I know I can make it lower. You are every Twitch chatter, and I just can't ban you.
Yeah.
I literally I did yell at like someone very recently for saying something very similar. Like, just let me hunch over for a second without being micromanaged.
Wait, you banned someone?
Yeah, or
Oh
I think so. I don't know. Maybe like just yelled at them.
Or muted them?
I wish I'd banned them.
Fun. Alright.
Just let me, yeah, and take a break. We are down in Orvar in this matchup, but that's maybe okay. What do you think of the various creativity lists? Have I dabbled at all? Well, there was like a really long time where creativity decks were just like everywhere, and there's like a million different versions. And that, I guess to some extent that is still kind of the case. But I didn't personally work on the archetype very much because I like of like all the established variants, I didn't really have strong ideas on how to improve them, and we do have the heat here. I didn't have strong ideas on how to improve them, and spending the time to like mess with all the different variants and understand which was the best would take like probably more hours than would be like better utilized in other places, was kind of my thinking. That makes sense. Well, I really wish I had that third Orvar. I guess that's kind of how sideboard cards work, right? You wish you had like all the sideboard cards for every matchup you ever play. Do you still prefer the Gearhulk version of Pioneer Creativity or like the version that runs Zinigos? I mean, I haven't like really thought much about Pioneer in a long time, so I'm not like really super qualified to say, I guess. But I do hate the one that runs Zinigos. I don't know. I thought the Creativity version was really good. I really liked that deck, or the Gearhulk version. I really liked that version. And like back in my playtesting, I always liked the Gearhulk one more. Like really, I feel like with Gearhulk versus Zinigos Worlds by Worm, you lose some percentage points against mono green. I think you're still like a little bit favored against mono green. I usually have like I have a lot of sideboard cards for the matchup, but with like the plethora of 2-mana counter spells, I found that the mono green matchup wasn't that bad. And And like I think that you're better against like literally every single other deck with the Gearhulk plan. Or at least I should say, like, that was my opinion when I was playing Pioneer. I just haven't really been. Worm version is so much better, especially with her stress pressure. I mean, I know that yeah, this is Doom's take. But the reason I liked it more against Rakdos was like you have like no dead draws against Rakdos. Like, I don't know, like, Hearse and Trespasser, not that hard to answer overall. Like, you have Prismari command for Hearse, which is really nice. And it's like being able to, like, top deck and hard cast Gearhulk, being able to even, like, cast Magmopus in the late game came up, like, more often than you'd think. And just not having, like, 3 completely dead cards in your deck against Rakdos I always felt to be really nice. But again, I haven't played the card in a long time. Or any Pioneer in a long time. Did we skip out on Anvil Station? I've just been playing other decks since then. It's been the backup deck for like a week now. With like small updates. There's no way they double block to save 2 life? Yeah, I didn't think so. Didn't think that they would. Alright, so hopefully we can draw an Underworld Breach before they draw a Creativity. But they have 5 cards in their hand, I have 0, which is not good. Could this be a domain show on Shadow Prophecy? I did consider Shadow Prophecy, yeah. I think that's probably not a Mentor deck, but I have been trying to figure out like a Shadow Prophecy Breach deck. I think it would be a bit bigger, and one interesting card is Commune with the Gods, which like both fills up the graveyard for Breach, finds Leyline Binding, tank Creativity, Miss Lethal. It's okay. Next game. So we're down a Orvar from what I had this morning. I've been liking Spellskite over Sphere and Anvil deck. I've played like 1 league and I didn't have like really like that's the problem with like these like really small changes to decks is like how could I possibly like give you a super meaningful answer after 1 league with like such a small change? I think it's good. I've been liking Spellskite in other shells. My general thinking is as far as like the 2 Spellskites over the Spheres, if it was a free swap, I would definitely advocate for it 100%. The issue is that in order to play the Spellskites and still keep Stirrings in your deck, and you have to keep Stirrings in. Stirrings is like one of your best cards. We had to cut both of the colorless utility lands, the Buried Ruin, which is fine to cut, and then the Blast Zone, which is like I'm gonna maybe miss Blast Zone, but I think that you need to play you need to cut the Spheres for green sources in the deck, and this is like the only like super clean way to do it. The other way to do it is to just like cut Scrap Trawlers almost completely. That is an option. Like you could cut the Scrap Trawler Ensnaring Everflowing Chalice package too, and that would be good like if you wanted to play 4 Spellskites. So like one thing I think you can do is you can get the colorless utility lands back in there, cut the Everflowing Chalice and the Scrap Trawlers. That's 5 spots, and then that can let you go up to 4 stars and 3 Spellskites, or 4 Spellskites, 3 stars, I think. Alright, we'll keep a Hearse. I guess I shouldn't have cracked this down, because I don't think this version plays Thoughtseize, but there's just no reason. Cyrus for 2 months. Blossoming of Bitter. If you're saying bring in Blossoming Calm, if that's what that comment is supposed to mean, I don't usually like Blossoming Calm very much in this matchup. Maybe take out 1 Trawler main, have 1 in the side. Take out Trawler in the main, have 1 in the side for a card target. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, but again, if you cut Trawler from the main, you have to cut the Everflowing Chalices too, because I don't think the Chalices are that good without Trawler, but with Trawler they're like really, really good. And so that's another avenue to go down. That being said, like I'm not really that interested. Okay, I guess we Graveyard the Mentor. House of Delirium is better if we top deck Unearth. Better for Breach. Graveyard, I don't know. I played quite a few leagues with Skite over Sphere, and there's been no instance where I've had Skite and Stranded Strings hand for what it's worth. I appreciate the feedback. I don't know how much it's worth. Because like assuming that you just are keeping the colorless utility lands in, you have 8 green sources, and I think that's too few. You know what I mean? And so like I think like this kind of anecdotal evidence, like I've been playing it and it's been fine for me. I don't usually like this kind of evidence where like, I mean, it's just you're a modern deck, you have a 1 mana green spell, even 10 sources is even like really low, but like 8 sources is like just like not doable in my opinion. And it will work out for you sometimes, but it's just like, this is just like, you know, deck building fundamentals to some extent. Wait, over Moonlight? Orvar is 0 mana, Moonlight's 2. But again, I'm not that interested in cutting the Scrap Trawler Everflowing Chalice tech because it's been good for us. It's been really good. Like it would feel weird to like have tested it. Man, so much flood today. It would feel weird to like have tested it and like feel like you've kind of established that this is like a good piece of technology, and then all of a sudden, just like abandon it. What is Spellskite trying to shore up, fill a gap? I fill a gap is not maybe not the word I would say. If Spellskite does like a lot of different things though, where like in addition to just being a card that meets the deck's requirements, it's a 2 mana artifact, so it doesn't like hinder you on your Semblance Anvil, Mystic Forge turns. It pitches to Semblance Anvil. That's like already like a card that you're like, you know, pretty down to consider. But beyond oh awesome, the Inquisition Bee, let's go. Beyond that, what it does is it buys you a turn a lot of the time by being an 0/4. And I know that that's like, what? But like, because the deck like will really often cast its first impactful spell on turn 3, having an 0/4 on turn 2 is like a really actually important thing. And it also protects your, you know, this is probably the most obvious thing, but it protects your combo pieces from Besaiges and Leyline Bindings and Haywire Mites, and not Force of Vigor, unfortunately, but, you know, on most of the other premium interaction against you. Well, I guess we can go Unearth into, hopefully get Delirium. We're going to lose a creature, now we gain a creature. We can attack for 9. Ooh. Okay, so we'll keep that on top. If my opponent Archons, then I get to copy it on the Archon attack trigger next turn. What's the max number of creatures you could run in a Mentor deck? 12 or 16. Well, it would be, I'm probably not going to say 12 because I'm running 16 right now. I think 16 is close to the top. You could maybe run 17 or 18 or 19. My opponent says, I see your hand is as strong as mine. They better not go, I see your hand is as strong as mine. Creativity. They had better not go, I see your hand is as strong as mine. Creativity, yeah, I can see it. Okay. I don't know how their hand's this bad, though. It's 6 cards in hand. Maybe just really flooded. Mentor has been awful, right? Maybe, I don't know. Again, I played this deck last night. I lost playing for a trophy. I think that like Mentor is a card that has so much disdain and scorn for it that people like, if it's not just winning the game, people will say things like this. But at the end of the day, it is just like a threat. And it'll get the job done sometimes, it won't get the job done other times. No Kolaghan's Command? Nope, no Kolaghan's Commands. Is there a different creature to play Spyros or Giganta? No, there's no. Again, Giganta is broken because it just shows up for free. It's not broken because it's like a great effect necessarily. It's just like free and will win you games randomly. But like Spyro, like you tell me if there's something that's as good as Spyro in your Unearth Breach deck. Magus Ring off Fetching seems really good. Do not bring in Magus of Moon against the Lightning Bolt Fire Ice deck. Don't do it. Please don't do I'll bet. I'm begging you, please. Ooh, no Fury. What's it like, huh? Oh, and we drew Orvar. Yeah, we didn't really flip anything very good for Ragavan. I guess I'm like literally never casting Unearth this game. I'll only ever cycle it, so I can just get a mountain. I'll discard Reunion Marsh Flats here. Do you think Esther could beat me in a match? Esther, come here.
No, I can't.
Oh, well, I was just gonna concede to you. I concede to Esther. Hers feels bad. I mean, they're playing Persistent, Red and 6. What are we talking about? Chat, what is going on today? Feels bad. Exclamation point deck, exclamation point bad, exclamation point bye. We're literally going to win this game, chat. Okay, we're going to win this match. We're literally going to win the match. How's Dark Souls practice been going? I think pretty good. Like, the off-stream practice went pretty well last night. I wasn't keeping track of hits because I was trying to like mess around and like try out a couple of different strats. And I did get a full run through yesterday. Orange Seed and Smoke continues to be a big problem. Ledge of Death continues to be tricky. Four Kings has gotten a lot better. I got like really weird RNG last night on my first attempt where this is not going to make much sense to most players, but on a Four Kings attempt, they went the like I don't even know how to describe this attack because it's so rare. It's the rarest attack, the one where it's like little balls of energy that kind of coalesce together. So I got that into Explosion, into Kiss, into Explosion, which are all attacks that you can't really counter. They're all attacks that you have to just dodge. And because I got so many uncounterable attacks in a row, a second king spawned and I died. It was so random. Yeah, yeah. That's not gonna make much sense to like most people, but yeah, overdodging Inquisitions, pretty big. What would I copy? I guess Seasoned Pyromancer. No, Inquisition just can't take Orvar is the thing. Are you allowed to warp out if that happens? I mean, so you can warp out if the Homeward Bone gets off, but it's also hard to Homeward Bone once you've like engaged in combat in that manner, if that makes sense. Since like usually when you Homeward Bone, you're far away from the king, but when you're close up, it's like it's not easy to get it off. But also again, like I've fought 4 Kings like over 100 times at this point, and that I've also watched this like the run many times, and I've never seen RNG like that. It was one of the most bizarre sequences I've ever seen. Your Red Black Anvil deck is just 4 Disciple of the Vault away from playing Zerda. No, Ragavan also doesn't let you Zerda. Zerda and Gigantha are also like, they're both just like random creatures, right? like what does Zerda do in the deck? It's just like a 3/3 instead of a 5/5. But Ragavan also doesn't have an activated ability. Dash is not an activated ability. And then like a lot of the cyber cards don't have activated abilities too, I think. No, Dash isn't an activated ability, it's an alternate casting cost, I'm pretty sure. Oh, whoops! I mean, we have the Orvar. I don't know what they're ever gonna do here. I meant to cycle this in response. Dash does count. Yeah, you mean doesn't? I mean, hold on. I'll just show you in a second that you can't use Ragavan in your Zerta deck. Let me just win this game real quick. Oh! Only in an aspiring spike stream can you like easily win a game while having your deck trash talk the entire time. Yeah, there are some cards that have activated abilities in hand. Ragavan's just not one of them. Love to draw an Unearth. Yeah, that deck was looking kind of good actually, huh? Wow. Isn't forecast an activated ability? Might be a triggered ability. I'm not sure. Maybe activated. I'll keep it a Sacred Foundry, I think. I help betting. I want to do a deck tech, but I'm stream poor. Maybe watch the stream and earn those channel points, huh? Beagler, 3 months ago, thank you. Okay, we're up against Living End, which is tough. We have Hearse, we have Magus of the Moon, and we also have the plan of discarding Monastery Mentor, which I actually don't think is that bad of a plan. Yeah, forecast is like as a mechanic that's a little bit before my time, to be honest. Go to discard. I mean, I'm not going to go to discard with Bitter Reunion in my hand. If they force the Bitter Reunion, I could lose. Oh wow, generosity, kindness from others. Deck tech, Rand. Let's see what you got. It's kind of bad into Waker. That's true, yeah. Alright, can Monastery Mentor solo? Maybe. So play Ragavan, block, take 10. Don't love that. But I don't have Delirium. Don't have much of a choice. Next turn, Seasoned Pyromancer can give me a lot of blockers. I can maybe go like Spyro, Unearth Spyro, and get enough blockers to block, and get to another turn. Yeah, we could kill the 2/2. I think that like I would rather use the Heat elsewhere, but maybe that is better. Okay, so we're gonna go Spyro, discard Seasoned Pyromancer, and then I guess maybe I'm discarding Heat because I need to use my Unearth. I need to keep the Breach in hand. I need to get as many tokens as possible. Well, now that we drew 2 more lands, we have to discard 2 lands. Do we? Can't block those Street Wraith. You have to kill them next turn, or kill the Street Wraith. Need to kill the Street Wraith because this won't block. Yeah, we can go Breach Heat next turn too. The fetch lands will be completely turned off, so we'll go ahead and just discard these. Oh. Almost missed my Bauble. I guess I'll wait on the Bauble so I don't get griefed. Be a cool game to win. Definitely feel like we need to win this game to win this match. Like this trick is like hard to pull off post board against Graveyard Hate. Sky Turtle. Well, that's a good card to know about. It's a bad card to see. Yeah, Dead to Outburst too. That's true. No Mentor attack? I guess we could have Mentor attacked.
I think if they have a force, they'll force this. Winter's been looking kind of... We drew a basic land. It's actually crazy. Winter looking kind of terrible, huh, Spike? Why not have Pyro block the agent? I mean, it's a 1-2. It's a chump block either way. It's 1-2 because of Waker of Waves. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Yeah, so I think they just have the... What do you call it? The turtle? Surely they wouldn't sandbag the forest. Maybe they did. Maybe they know they only died to breach. Yeah, maybe a healthy dose of copium. Bounce the Mentor in response. Well, thankfully we got 2 tokens off. Hold! Hold! This is GG. It should be like pretty cleanly GG if they don't have anything. I should unearth Seasoned Pyromancer, right? First. I need to use this mana to activate Bitter Reunion. But Unearth Seasoned Pyromancer, I think, is the correct start. It's 1 extra. I get 1 extra damage from the Spyro, but it also puts two cards in the yard. Beseiju. Beseiju could be a problem. I think they're just kind of like absorbing the board state. It doesn't really feel like they have anything. I hope I'm not wrong. Hold. Is that a Joel Haver sketch where like there's like a knight or something who's like hold, you know, like that cliche, but just never says attack and they're holding way too long. I think that's Joel Haver. So we'll sack this now. We can bauble one more time. It feels like a pretty good game to win. Mentor literally soloed Living End, which is kind of exciting. Maybe not super charitable to all the other cards that did work this game. Yeah, even if they have another bounce spell, we win, right? I guess if my opponent had bounced the Mentor earlier, maybe we don't have lethal. Maybe we do, though. No, we would have been... No, we would have said... Bouncing the Mentor when they did cost them like an extra 11 damage, but yeah, they're at minus 12. Alright, so Hearses and Magus is in. Hearses and Magus is in. I'm going to trim Unearth. Like, a lot of times you want to keep these cards in the yard. I think I want 2 bolts also. Yeah, I think I'll just play 1 Unearth, because you want to just kind of keep your Mentor in the graveyard, I think. I'll play 1. Oh, maybe I was supposed to play Wear Tear also because of Leyline. I'll keep this, though. Maybe sold the draw, but I'm going to keep... Do you feel like a large portion of decks depend on the graveyard a lot? I think that I go through cycles of like brewing where like I will like I've just been like very focused on Underworld Breach in a variety of decks because the card is underexplored and goes in a lot of different shells. And finding the best shell is like a quest that we're going on, kind of. And so, like, this is a really, really common thing where people go, Spike, don't you feel like you play a lot of control decks? Don't you feel like you play a lot of aggro decks, a lot of combo decks, a lot of artifact decks, a lot of mid-range decks? But, like, the reality is I just go through phases. And like, it's easier to brew, like, one style of strategy when that's the strategy that you're focused on playing with, if that makes sense. And it's harder to brew, like, just jump from archetype to archetype every single day. But I play, you know, I am bound by nothing. I am no longer just the Archmage's Charm guy. But I'm also the Sultai guy. I'm also the owner of eBay. Which really doesn't take as much time as you'd think. You would think that, like, I would have any responsibilities at all, but really I just, like, scream at my TCG player coworkers in board meetings, and it's awesome. It's, like, just so fun. eBay kind of runs itself. I know I'm not running it. I know I could be doing I don't know where I'm going with the bit. All right, we're getting Violent Outburst. If they had Violent Outburst, they probably would have draw stepped it, right? Did I miss eBay doing something dumb? No, eBay is a company that is perfect. Every other company, bad. eBay, perfect. And then TCG Player is like, you know, so like if eBay is God, then TCG Player is Jesus. And then, whoa, what? These are my player reward packs? This is cool. Elvish Spirit Guide, Damping Sphere. I've never seen this Empty the Warrens art. Flametongue Kavu, Goblin Matron. I've never seen this High Tide art. Oh, I guess this is just icy. These are cool. These are really cool. These are like the best player reward packs I've ever seen. Awesome. Okay, so opponent had Petty Theft. Let's hope they didn't top deck a Cascader. Cast Borrower. Do it. Cast a Borrower. Yes! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah, not just random basic land arts. Yeah, it feels like for a long time, the Magic Online's intern has been like, oh no, guys, I forgot to figure out what the promos are going to be. Let's just push the random basic land art button again. Those are sick, though. I really like those. All right. I could heat for Delirium. I think I'm just going to get the second Magus into play here. Although, I don't really know. I guess I can go, like, Island into Bounce one. If they have Forest, if they find Forest, they can Violent Outburst. But they have to have found basic Forest naturally, plus Violent Outburst, which wasn't a card in their hand earlier. No. No. Please, no. How Monastery Mentor is to blame for this somehow. I just know it. Monastery Mentor looking kind of terrible here, isn't it? Have I tried Bitter Reading or maybe Fable? Are you an AI-generated comment on any aspiring Spike video? Spike, what about Bitter Reunion for this deck? What about... oh, wow. Live updates. What about Fable the Mirror Breaker? I guess I should have been holding a basic land for Reunion. Okay, Panda. Okay, pitching Endurance to save them some life points. Mentor deck just like Spikes, but Jeskai and bad. Okay, so I tried Recommission with Mentor last night. Results-wise, I lost playing for a trophy. I was playing a Boros version. I lost playing for a trophy. But as far as, like, how I felt about the card, like, every single time I'd cast Recommission, I really, really wished it was Unearth. I do agree that, like, you probably can't be 4 colors, but, you probably can't be 4 colors and play Unearth in, like, a shell like this. No! This is so unfair! Living in, please! Living in players, please! How do you do this? How do you just draw the basic forest? How do you just draw the violent outburst? I don't understand! Who did you sell your soul to? I just don't, how do you do it? Literally, how do you do it? I was only playing 3 Recommission 2 last night. I would probably be, like, also still just playing 3. I don't know, it seems like a good first draft. I would want to play, like, a couple, like 2 or 3 spell peers. It's like drawing a bolt on life could trigger opponents at 3. Well, okay, that game, I was winning that game anyways because I had Orvar. They were dead just to the Orvar. That one was different. They only have 1 forest in their deck, and they had to draw the forest, and they had to draw a violent outburst, exactly. Brutal. Yeah, I want to go down, like, I want to go down 1 Recommission, maybe a Heat, maybe an Iconoclast, and play, like, 2 or 3 Spell Pierce. Really, I like the draft, though. I don't know. Doesn't look bad. Okay, no sideboard cards. Ragavan's really nice to have, but no sideboard cards. Is a mulligan. In the play. That was 63 cards? Okay, then trim a Recommission. Trim a Iconoclast, maybe. I guess trim a Heat. My opponent's also on a mold of 5. I think I'd go to 4. I'm just looking for like a Magus or Hearse on the play. We have like 5 sideboard cards. We haven't found any of them. It feels bad. This is a 4-card hand. A 3-card hand with Magus can't cast Magus. Unless it has Ragavan. So if this was my 4-card hand, what would I do? I would keep Channeler. My opponent's on 5. I could keep Mire, Bauble, Channeler. I just don't think a Hearse is going to win the game by itself. A Magus might. But, like, I think that, like, this is maybe going to be enough. Obviously feels pretty bad. Really thought we were going to win this match, and, like, going from that into Forest Violent Outburst, Mold of 4. No sideboard card even on the Mold of 4. I'm going to hold the Bauble, though. What do you think of some variant trying out Founding the Third Path? I mean, Founding the Third Path is... we've played Esper with Founding the Third Path. It's fine. I think that the red splash is better than the blue splash, though. Could keep that on top. I think I'm just going to go for broke and graveyard it here. I mean, you are keeping that. So we go Breach, 2 more cards in the graveyard. That's actually... Oh, no! Guess I got punished for bobbling when I did. It's my fault. Thinking I would want to maybe bolt on their instep, though. I don't know. I definitely got punished, but, like, you know, there was, like, at least a little bit of a thought there. I guess I actually just get plain since I have no black cards in the deck right now. Hearse? I mean, they mold to 5. They could stumble. I mean, they're living end, but... Right, we made it to our draw step. I think I'm just going to cast this now. Because if they do Violent Outburst, then I want to at least have 2 cards in my hand instead of getting this discarded to grief. mean, if that gets discarded to Grief, obviously we're in bad shape, but I don't think they have it. They should have drawn Step Violent Outburst if they had it. They're really just toying with me though, you know what I mean? They're just toying with me. Okay, I can kind of see through my hoodie. Oh, did they disconnect it? They disconnected! That's good news. That's great news. That's amazing news. They're like, I can't believe I got so unlucky this match. I cannot believe it. Yeah, a little bit of Dark Souls in between. We could do the Asylum. We could do the Asylum. Well, why not? It's just like I can even like have the magic, just the Dark Souls window be small. Ah, fuck. See, I don't know how much of how easy it is to resize this window. Maybe Esther can entertain us. What's the deal with living in players, huh?
They're so slow.
Esther, would you want us to name this character after you? Last time we did, we died really fast.
That's not nice.
It's true. I would rather be honest.
Is that the usual name?
No, we name them against like characters from the Spike cinematic universe, chatter sometimes.
Do you have to be male? Don't females have smaller hitboxes?
They don't actually have smaller hitboxes.
Oh.
Wait, yeah, it still says waiting. Hold on. True Hero, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. I'm trying to resize the window so we can kind of see. I think we can do it like this. So again, we're trying to no-hit Dark Souls. We can just get through the Asylum for later today, though. My opponent, I think my opponent like is salty disconnected, or at least we don't know. Anything could be happening, but the timing, if they were salty disconnecting, this would definitely have been the time when they would have done it. So we're just gonna do the Asylum, no hit while we wait for their timer to time out. We can maybe do a little bit more setup too. It takes like 10 minutes or something. Any Venerate Raw Priest Bruiser? Yeah, we will definitely try it. Like, as far as Venerate Raw Priest goes, there's two different builds, I think. There's like the Clever Lumimancer Ground Rift deck, and it just kind of goes in that. Or you're like an all-in Storm variant with like Summoner's Pact and Spellskite. Maybe Spellskite goes in both versions, but I think those are going to be the two main variants here. Oh yeah, timer would help. I mean, we can see when they're ready to come back. We can see when they're ready to come back.
Timer for the Dark Souls run.
Yeah, but the timer would help because we would also be able to see how long they've been gone. It's fine. The setup, when you're playing games, like the window management is really weird. We could maybe even like get through the Drakes. We can do like 10 minutes. Yeah, I've been thinking. Okay, maybe we could put on pants. Maybe we can leave the pants on. The problem is we have to keep our fast roll. But I know like the undead ass is kind of, you know, it's not as good as the Asylum demon ass. I'd like to also take this time to apologize to all of the spikelings from Mississippi. When I said that I hoped all your cards were destroyed in TCQ player shipments again, I just really want to reiterate that that was taken out of context. That was taken out of context. And I hope that enough time has passed for us to move on from this. Ooh. I'd like to apologize if you were a victim of that clip being taken out of context. See, I was asked if I could do anything about Mississippi's moisture problem, and like, if anything, if I could, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? If I could help, I wouldn't exert any effort to do so. And I don't know what I'm saying. If I could help all your TCG player orders get to you perfectly, I would do everything I could to stop you from getting your packages. I would do everything humanly possible to get between you and your packages, Mississippi. I personally will go to the TCG Player Fulfillment Center and rip apart all of your cards. And then charge you a convenience fee. Because that's my right as the son of Phineas eBay, heir to the eBay fortune. Hold on. This is really not, my opponent's still not back. Okay, they lost connection 6 minutes ago, so we have like 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. We can probably get a route to the Drakes, but maybe through the Drakes. Dude, it would be so funny if this was the run. If this was the run, and like the start of the run is on YouTube, like me playing at like 60% of the window with Magic Online in the background, rambling about Mississippi. It would be so funny. Yeah, dude. Yeah, imagine if it's also the slow roll. I will end the stream if my opponent like comes back after 9 minutes and casts a Cascade spell. I'm not joking. I will end the stream today if my opponent comes back after 9 minutes and casts a Cascade spell. There's no way. There's no way I'm continuing after that. Yeah, maybe pants are the secret. I mean, these pants are pretty shitty. There's a few other pants we get throughout the run. Maybe we can just switch out pants whenever we get them until we find the right pair. I don't think we can afford any more clothes than pants, though, without sacrificing a roll early. I guess in the mid to late game, it'd be fine, though. I mean, I think the boots are good. I'm just not a big fan of these pants. Okay, my opponent timed out. So let's just go ahead and pause here, and then we don't have to do the Asylum today. Maybe. Well, we already did it today, I guess. Okay, we're 3-1. Mentor looking kind of terrible, not gonna lie. Just kidding, I was quoting the chat. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. I lost playing for a trophy with the deck last night. Although it was a little bit different. I was playing Recommission over Unearth, but every single time I cast Recommission, I wished it was Unearth. Yeah, they got so lucky game 2. I don't know how they can be salty. I mean, we don't know that they were salty. They could have, could have been an innocent timeout. I think this hand's fine. It's like obviously a little bit risky, but if either Ragavan connects or we draw a land, we're fine. And Ragavan's a bit more likely to connect because we have the Bolt. If neither of those things happen, we could lose, and that's okay. Looks like the Ragavan is not going to be connecting. So this is a take on the Esper list. Yeah, it's very similar to the Esper list, of course. I think that this is better. I think that the red splash is better than the blue splash. Adding Luxior to Modern. Insects as a 1 or 2 to target Swarmyard Grist synergy. Swarmyard Grist synergy. Yeah, Breach Phoenix is possible. Maybe I can do some work on that tonight. Does Mardu Mentor ever cast it? Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, bucko. Luxior as a 2 target. Swarm. So, okay, I guess what is the synergy with Swarmyard? So Luxior, yeah, I guess I don't know what the synergy with Swarmyard is. I understand why you might want it for Grist. Right on time, land. It's never beating this Tarmogoyf ever. I think one thing about what I don't like about this idea of like is like making Grist better is not something you need to do. Grist is already your best card by a million miles in the insect deck. It's like your only good card, and so like the fact that like I don't think you'd ever really want to equip it even and like expose it to a removal spell. Well, that was a, I don't know. What can you do? John is just kind of like a bullshit too powerful deck. And it always has been, and always will be. So I want a couple of those. I think Chain to the Rocks is fine. I think it's better than Unholy Heat. I mean, Heat kills Ram. Maybe actually we're going down on bolts. Down to like 1 bolt. And then something like this. Could play like 1 Wear Tear. I think we can do this.
I get that in my head.
How much Graveyard Hate is typical on a sideboard? Okay, so this is like the kind of like standard Pioneer deck building that is like, I think is really good to try to move away from when you're going to Modern and you're trying to build decks in Modern, where like you can't answer a question, how much Graveyard Hate do you need for a deck? Or at least you can't answer it very simply, where it's like most linear and aggro decks, like Hammer Time is a deck with no need for Graveyard Hate. It's going to be able to just focus on its linear game plan against opposing graveyard strategies. There's also times when like if you're playing blue, a lot of times you want to play counter spells over pure Graveyard Hate because Dredge isn't popular, and you want to play counter spells to face Living In and Creativity or Reanimator, which are like the only other like graveyard decks that you would even face in the first place, if that makes sense. And so it's just like, and like it's also just always going to be so deck dependent and so metagame dependent that like it's just not even a good question to ask. It's like it's really like something you need to reframe your mindset around, if that makes sense, in my opinion. Eisen, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Do you think your Asmodee food deck with Troll King is playable without Wrenn and 6? I do think so. Wrenn and 6 is nice, especially because it's like a recursive card advantage engine, but isn't like 100% mandatory. I think that I would like max out on like 4 Fable of the Mirror Breaker if you have them, or if you have access to them, whatever. Over the Wrenn and 6s, and if you don't have access to those, like Trail of Crumbs is a good budget option. You can also play Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat is fine. Some split of those. Yeah. Deck building in Modern is so situational and so nuanced. It's honestly like why I'm able to brew so much, because I'm not like, in the words of my favorite fearless hero, I'm not really a math guy. I'm just not really, I'm not a Frank Karsten. I'm not someone that like does things by the numbers. But Modern is also a format where like the rules go out the window when it comes to deck building in a lot of ways, which is like why I think I can do what I do. We're gonna have 2 pretty lopsided games here. Just graveyarding any cards so we can bauble as many times as possible. Fuck. Okay, maybe Breach is a bad card. Ragavan, save me. Hold the Mire for Bitter Reunion, I guess. Wow, that was like one of the biggest like 180s I've seen in a game in a really long time. Ugh, brutal. Maybe chump blocking with Ragavan here is fine. Like I can't even bauble and attack because they just have this endurance. I like that draw a lot. Is play this so I can get Delirium, and so we on defense we can make our channelers 3/3s, and we can potentially like Manamorphose into a spell and get these tokens as 3/3s and do some blocking. But it's playing Jund Saga, a pretty good deck in Modern, honestly, a deck that I was liking for a while. We can Manamorphose into Manamorphose. Then we're golden, baby. We're good to go. Good to go. Probably can never win with that lantern in play. Yeah, the heat's not really an option. I don't know, maybe baiting the lantern attack and trying to draw the lantern sack and then trying to draw breach is our only option too. I could see that being the case. Sad, sad, sad. All right, 3-2 that league. Let's do one more. Sorry, believers. Dude, that was...